And it's very impressive. Thank you everybody for coming and for being part of this. Everybody that learns Torah, or Hashem, any ideas, any concepts that we take with us for the future will be for his zechut.
Amen.
We're very privileged to have with us Rabbi Eli, who's visiting from Eretz Yisrael, and he's going to share with us some words on making relationships real. Rabbi Eli's had a lot of experience, Baruch Hashem, and just to open up, we're in the month of Elul, and Elul is talking all about relationships. It's our relationship with God. Ani ledodi v'dodi li. Elul is ani ledodi v'dodi li. And that's why the Sephardim, what do? We get up for 40 days before Yom Kippur, and we're saying Selichot for 40 days. Ani finishes with A. Which letter? Yud. Ledodi finishes with Yud. V'dodi, Yud. Li, Yud. You got 4 Yuds. What's the gematria of Yud? 10. What's 4 times 10? 40. These are the 40 days of Rachamim. These are the 40 days of mercy. But it's also the 40 days in which Hashem comes back to us. We come back to Hashem in a relationship with God. We can never take ourselves away, right? We're God's children. So just like you can't say, you're not my son anymore, you're not my daughter anymore. No, I'm biologically your son. You can't take me away. I will always be there. HaKadosh Baruch Hu always is with us. But there are times in relationships where we have arguments, we have disagreements, etc. And then there's times when we come back. This is the time where Chazal tell us, HaMelech Basadeh, God Almighty, the King is out there. So that's just as an introduction, but of course Rabbi Eli will be talking more about the relationships between interpersonal relationships. Let's go.
The Rabbi stole my speech. I'm finished. No, I'm joking. I really want to thank Rabbi TAL for hosting and part of TAL. It's a big honor to have met such an amazing group of people so far this week. You know, I don't know you guys, so my relationship I wouldn't say advice, but my relationship sharing or journey together with you is right at the beginning points, because we're just starting off with an initial meeting, and to be real we have to have some sort of time factor. That's a big part of relationship, investment in time and dedicating time. So I'm sure you have, thank God with Rabbi TAL here, a lot of time together, and you've got to know each other, and that means that you're more used to what's going on. So I'm gonna do my best as a newbie, as they say in companies. The newbies, or they use that, newbies. So a little bit of a newbie here, but with a newbie speech, there's also opportunity to say some things you weren't expecting also. So we're gonna enjoy that side. So the relationship aspect is a very fundamental for our generation. It's like the most important, in my opinion, in a daily level, what you're going to deal with, what you're going to be focused on, what's going to be running through your mind. I don't know if you guys are the kind of guys, people who are measuring your thoughts. I don't know if you're that kind of people. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I think sometimes what did I think about today? Yeah, some people not. Everyone's different, obviously. I'm one of those people. My wife is 10 times ahead of me on that. She's thinking over what did I say, what did I do, overly, and it shows a very sensitive nature, and it shows that she's always trying to improve herself, certain mindset. Nowadays they call it growth mindset. It's the concept of growing. The idea of measuring your thoughts, you would realize that most of the things you're thinking about is your relationships with people. And my trip here this week not only was with Rabbi TAL, and I thank him eternally, because I had time with my family and friends. And the power of getting together with my oldest friends, one of them's got engaged, spending time with them and catching up in that whole process with all my other friends. And then the power of being with a father and a mother, or being with brothers. I don't have sisters, but brothers, being with the family and just connecting. It's nothing else. I'm a nephew, niece, whatever it is. The power of being with people who are your loved ones, your soul connection. You feel there's something so important in the relationship that you would be surprised if throughout the day how much you're thinking about it, how much it consumes your mind. It's really important. And people don't generally measure their life success on thought level, because that's already quite an abstract level. That's maybe the levels of very righteous people, to be on such a level of machshava, to think about thoughts. But if you come on Rosh Hashanah and you start to realize that what's happening on Rosh Hashanah is you're entering into this realm of thought. We already spoke about this with the rabbi, but I'm not going to repeat it because I'm saying it in a different way. There's the concept of Rosh Hashanah is 2 days. It's 24 hours the first day, 24 hours the second day. 24 times 24 is, maths genius? 48 hours.
24 plus 24.
24 plus, I said and, yeah, whatever, vav and plus. 24 plus 24 is 48. What does that incorporate? 48 hours, the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, is 48 is the numerical value, gematria of moyach, mind, brain. That's the Hebrew word brain. So what's happening on Rosh Hashanah, as it says according to the Shita of Rabbi Eliezer and the Gemara, is the idea. It's the Yom Adin of machshava, of thoughts. It's a day of thoughts. It's a day where Hashem is willing into creation. God is willing into creation a new year. He's creating the world anew 5 days before. It's called Kaf Hayel. That's coming up this in the new week, please God. And we're going to have this Kaf Hayel, which is the 25th of September this year. Work matches up. I don't know if there's any significance, but that is. It just makes it easier, I suppose. 25th September matches up with the preparation towards the 6th day of creation, which is Rosh Hashanah. Hashem is creating the world. What was so significant about the 6th day of creation? What did he form? Man. Did he form him alone? Did Adam come to the world by himself? No. He had Chava. Yeah. He was created his wife, his soulmate, his other half. Originally they were created as one, and then they were separated, and there was this relationship between the two of them, and that was the foundation of mankind and all of us till this day. Yeah, it was formed in that day. But what happened was, as we all know, there was a mishap, and we're till now still processing that mishap till this time we're sitting here now talking about. And the shofar and the day of Rosh Hashanah, there's something going on that special day which is giving us an opportunity to fix up something that went wrong. So what we're going to talk about tonight is how to make our relationships real. Not just real with God, because I don't want to just be abstract. Thoughts are very abstract. I want it to be real down here with you and me, have a better day tomorrow and a better day next week and even a better day for Rosh Hashanah, so that you can start off the new year in the right mindset. Because mindset is tremendously important. The way you think has an effect on your life. How you feel about yourself, how you process, your thoughts. To understand, one, most important foundation of all things is to know how much you're loved. Everyone wants to be loved. I myself feel like I have a gift, thank God. I don't know, maybe it's from my parents, maybe it was just a gift from God himself. I've always felt loved. Yeah, I don't know if everyone shares that. Maybe it's just a lucky guy, but I feel loved, and that feeling loved gives me a confidence, gives me a strength, and I think that everyone nowadays would gain if they would just try work on that aspect. I mean, we were learning yesterday Chazal, and we see that all the myriads of stars and all the constellations and all the creation was created for one thing, says the Talmud, just for my daughter. Who's my daughter? Us. Basayan, it says, we're the daughter. We're the daughter of God. Also, some ways we're the wife of God. There's all this concept of relationships. If you really understand creation on a deep, deep level, I'll tell you a very deep secret, just since we're here and we're talking about real relationships. Mizmor Shir Yom Shabbos, we say it every Shabbat. Mizmor Shir Yom Shabbat. We say this concept of bringing in the Shabbat with song, and there's very deep meanings in the first letters of those 4 words. It's a very deep idea. Mizmor Shir Yom Shabbos is Rashi Tevot, the first letters, Hamashal or Shlomo. Now we're going to talk, or Lamoshe. We're going to talk about Hamashal. It's a deep idea I thought of. I checked it out with righteous people. Thank God. This is my own idea. You can say you heard something new. What's Hamashal? The Moshel, this idea that Hashem made this whole story. That's what Moshel means, like a story. And then you have the point of the story. If I tell you a story about myself, grew up in Edgeware, Baruch Hashem, I wasn't religious at all. I met my wife in the gym, and then and then we went to Eretz Yisrael, and we became best friends. But I was platonic, and she was in New Seminary, I was in yeshiva, and and I'm going on and on about my story. And we, by Hanukkah we got married, Baruch Hashem. But when did we get engaged? Tu B'Av, and and everything was so wonderful, and blah blah blah, and I was so enlightened. What's my point? To inspire you that it's doable. You can find your soulmate, you can find the other half. It is possible. Here's a guy that was meritorious, at the age of 21 to get married. It's possible for me also, yeah. Or you could say, he's just different. He's lucky, dude. Yeah, I'm having a hard time. Whatever, and whatever. You're going to take out a point of the story, and each person's going to define it himself. So now, what we have to understand: what is the point of creation? What is the point of the mashal, the story? So if I would tell you there's many points, that's true. But then what does God tell us? And what does David HaMelech, what did the sweet singer of Israel, what did he say? He said, Tov lahodis Hashem. It's good to thank Hashem. It's good to thank God. And he also meant it's good to be, admit yourself to God, to connect to God, to be real. Yeah? To the bottom line, just to be real with God, not to put a joke on. I was talking to someone here just before. You want to be able to express yourself. You want to have a real experience in life with your relationships. You don't want to put on a show. Yeah, the world's a lot to do with show. I don't need your approval. I don't need Rabbi's approval. Honestly, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to put on a show. I want to do this because this is what I'm supposed to do. That kind of relationship with myself, with my wife, with Hashem, with the people around me. I want to do what's real for me. Be authentic, be honest, be sincere, be able to live with myself. That kind of thing. That's the kind of person that I'm aiming for. And I think on Rosh Hashanah, I think Hashem's wanting that from all of us in some way or another. Because he's looking at us and he's saying, I'm about to give you a new year of life. And life's not a joke, every year we just go through life, Baruch Hashem, and we see, thank God, I got through this year, I'm alive, I'm here to tell the tale, another year in creation, another year of my personal life, I get to start fresh. But God's looking at me and saying, I'm going to give you another year, but what do you want? Are you in it? Are you really there? Or you're thinking about, like I said, measure your thoughts. I'm thinking about what everyone else is thinking about me. I'm thinking about, am I famous yet? I grew up in the music world, so it was a big thing. I want to be famous. I want everyone to know my name, be a rock star, and we used to jam, perform concerts, and I want to be like these famous. And you start to meet them, and you see that from the fame doesn't come such inner joy. It doesn't really make their relationships and their actual life that amazing. The fame. So why do I want to be famous then? It doesn't bring fulfillment. So I started working it through, and it was clear to me that this is really what I want. Because I don't actually really want the fame. I want more than that, I want real relationships. Like I said, I wanted to find my soulmate. That was very important to me. I wanted to find what my purpose is in the world. I wanted to learn more about who I am in a deep way. What is my mission? What is my soul connection? What is the soul? Why am I Jewish? What's this Jewish thing? I was in school in Woodhouse. I went to Woodhouse College, as one of the short schools I went to when I was in England. And I was sitting there in history, and the whole of history, basically, this is my perception, you don't have to agree with it, but basically I went through history. History was my favorite subject. I went all the way through history, and the Byzantines and the Roman Empire and the Greek, before that the Greek Empire, and the whole way through, all the way to, and from the beginning of starting history, all the way through to now. And where do we get to? The Great Depression. Yeah, what do we then get to after the Great Depression? The Second World War, and after the Second World War, the Holocaust. Yeah, that's where we ended off. That was my experience of learning history in school. We ended off with the Holocaust. So my thing was, wait a minute. This is not a Jewish place. Woodhouse College. This is the education of England. I just ended off that whole historical journey with a group of people I don't really know much about. I happen to be one. But, and there's this thing called the Holocaust. And really, that only came up, we mentioned a little bit at the times of, when they were thrown out of England and by someone help me out here with the Yorkshire massacre, and my history's not what it was. But the point is that we were thrown out, yeah. So now, we're this people that seem to get thrown out of countries, and then suddenly comes this climatic point in history, and the history lessons, and we're the Holocaust. It's all just doom and gloom. Jewish people suck. Yeah, everyone wants to kill them. Like, what that didn't help me. Yeah, it didn't help answer my question. Why am I Jewish? Like, I definitely don't want to be part of that. Like they've had a hard time. Yeah, you agree? Does anyone think sounds good? Like, if I was telling you, like, you join my people, like, let's go do outreach. Like, we've basically been thrown out of country to country every time we do well, and then at the climax of history, we're getting a Holocaust. And now we're in Eretz Yisrael, everyone also hates us. So who wants to be part of this? Like, worst, like, PR there is. I mean, Israel does a good job of doing, excuse my language, but not such great, I was about to say something worse, but not such great PR, yeah? Like, we just had selection was just a nightmare, and how it looks to the world, yeah? But, like, the concept of good PR, something I work with, PR is important, like making a good name for us. Let's like not rewrite history, but let's just like try find something good out here. So when I opened up the Bible, which is what I did, I took a Tanakh. I went to Israel on a trip, and I bought myself a Bible, a Tanakh, and I read through the Tanakh from beginning to end, which you'd be surprised how little amount of people actually do that. How many little amount of Jewish people do that. Honestly, ask yourself around, how many people, Rabbi Yossi Mizrahi talks about this, how many people read the Bible? Yeah? Have you ever, like, say, it's a bestseller, so, but it doesn't mean you read it, There's lots of people, I read a little bit here and there, like, I remember something in Hebrew school. Take it as an intelligent adult and go through the Bible, go through Tanakh, and just see these unbelievable stories from beginning, and everyone I've ever met who's done it, is like blown away by the Bible, and they read it intellectually, like intelligently, and it just was like, wow. So I did that, and I was like, wow, and it was a life change. I was in university at that time in Sussex, and I had basically, like, coming from the music world, music was like my idol, So I had, back in the day, sorry, I'm giving my age away a little bit, but not beautiful rabbis or beautiful svarim. I had beautiful CD collection. And what did I bring to university? I'm not joking, it filled up the whole wall of my room, the CD collection. That's how many I had. Yeah. So I can tell some stories how I got some of those CDs, but I don't know. I don't want to. We'll see. We'll save it for another time. But the idea, I took all those CDs, yeah, and I put them in a corner. Now, this freaked out my parents. They came down to university in Sussex. It was in Brighton. Brighton's a nice place. I had a nice apartment by the beach. Jonathan Freeman got me my apartment there. His father's in property. He knows this guy already. So I was sitting in this apartment, and my parents are like, first they brought me a letter from a girl that I met at Prince William's birthday party, and she was still wanting to keep contact for the obvious reason. No, but she wanted to keep contact, and they brought this letter, and it was Shabbat. They drove in, gave me a letter from a non-Jewish, blonde, beautiful girl that I met at Prince William's birthday party in university, and hand it to me and say, here's, why don't you talk to these girls? They're all sending you letters. I'm like, And then the next thing is, they look in my room and they say, oh my God, what has happened to you? Why is your music covered up with a sheet in the corner? And all I see is a Bible, Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and a Mesilat Yesharim. They didn't know what any of those were, but they knew the Bible, just probably. But these religious articles, yeah, why are they on your table and everything's gone? And what has happened to you? Yeah. So really, it was an amazing transformation. But the point was that I was like, wow, this Bible is just so deep and so special. And from it, like I said, the whole point, what is all these stories? To get to the Nimshul. The Nimshul means the purpose of the story. And that is really the point. What is the purpose of all these relationships? When we're talking about relationships for real, the whole point of all the relationships is to bring you to the Nimshul. All the people in your life. This is a very deep idea. It's my own idea, but it fits into the thoughts of righteous people, thank God. Sometimes we can align ourselves with their thinking. That this concept of that everyone in my life is teaching me a very deep point about life. All the relationships I have, for real, like real relationships, not show, like real, where you really care and you really love and you really are empathetic. If you're blessed to be that kind of person, you really care and you listen, and or you're really there for them when they need you. Like they phone you up. The other day, my friend phoned me up and wants to make a proposal. Didn't even phone me up, text me. going on a plane, I need to make a proposal. Can you organize it? I was going through, I don't know if anyone here listened to what I'm up to right now. 5, 6, 7, 8 things. I don't have time, like within 5 hours, by midnight tonight, to organize a proposal and get my kids to bed and with my wife and all the 100 things I was supposed to be doing that night. Suddenly I'm making a proposal in the Old City. I had 5 hours to organize it. And then not only that, I had the girl side. Now, once you get the girl side in, it's a whole different level experience. If you know what I'm talking about, events, they have to have the flowers and the candles. And so I'd get them a venue and a musician. That's my thing. But now I have to worry about the decor and make sure that there are boys to help carry the chairs because they didn't want the chairs there. And suddenly it's like, suddenly 5 hours later, I'm with Alex Clare on this rooftop in the Old City and we're serenading this couple. And I'm like what did I just do? I was just about to do 5 other things and now I'm here. Yeah, because you love the guy who texted me and you do it. You start to realize that you have relationships, you're willing to go beyond yourself. And it's in a deep way, as tired as I was and hard as it was so fulfilling, like in a way I can't imagine, to see their joy and to give to someone else your time and energy. This is real relationships. So now you have these kind of relationships with people, real relationships where you really like, it's not just what can I get out of them, but real relationships. So now you start to feel real relationships. You start to understand there's a deeper meaning in life. There's a deeper point going on. That really it's all the relationships in your life, husband and wife, father and mother, child, they're all a deep lesson in how to have the ultimate relationship with God. I have the ultimate relationship with the Jewish people. And that brings us back to Rosh Hashanah. Standing on Rosh Hashanah, it's the 6th day of creation. It's a day where Adam and Chava, something went wrong. Between the first man and woman, something went off. There was a snake, came in, made the first fight, start off with a fight, just like, everyone knows the relationships, there's a bit of, action going down, yeah? So there's a little bit of fun and games, and that comes with a relationship. Wherever there's a relationship, usually there is a snake driving you mad, yeah? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be like talking to myself, yeah? I'm like, nod heads, no, yes, no. So you're going through something where you're just feeling like, wow, like I'm trying to have this relationship and comes a snake and or like you start doubting yourself. We get back to the thought idea. You start doubting yourself, doubting the relationship, doubting the other person, all the trust issues and, I'm not here to be a psychologist, but I'm just saying there's a lot going down, yeah? So what I want to end off with Rosh Hashanah is an opportunity to actually be real and actually say, you know what, for today, Baruch Hashem, no phones, yeah? No one's watching me. This isn't for public consumption. This is me and you, Hashem. This is me and my family. Well, I'm going to be in Uman, so, unfortunately I don't have that zchut to sit with my family this year, but I'll definitely be praying for them. But, this idea of you're connecting to Hashem and you've got the shofar, it's this deep voice from within, this deep call, this deep place of the soul, awakening that deeper part of yourself, and you start to think on a different level maybe. You start to feel, there is a point. There is this point in my life that is important that I live, that I crown the king, that I have a purpose, I have a mission. I'm part of this historical nation. There wasn't just a Holocaust. There's actually a good ending to this. Yeah? It's not just going to be a Holocaust. I mean, some of us Sephardic brothers, they were saved from having to suffer that Holocaust. They had other things, obviously. But it wasn't just that. There was opportunity to build a future for the world, to build a purpose for the world, to be lessons of that. Think of what our people have contributed. It's unbelievable. And once I started learning all that, I started answering my original question, why am I Jewish? Then I started to see, wow, there's Shabbat, there's disconnect to reconnect, there's moments of real relationships. I saw at Shabbat, relationships. I see the rabbi and the Rebbetzin or people like this, and they have real relationships, and they're giving and giving and giving, and that's a godly way of being. And I start to think, wow, that was for me one of the most attractive things, about the nimshal, or the purpose of the story of creation. That's the purpose of all these relationships. Now, if you take the world, let's take Hollywood, or the Netflix world, Anyone's got a Netflix addiction? Most people do nowadays. Yeah. Thank you. Very honestly, didn't mean to embarrass you, but I did as well. Honestly, my wife and I basically for a time. I don't have to go into all the details, but we needed a time out from stuff. We'd gone through the most tense trauma from an organization, etc., etc. So we needed just the time just to get ourselves together. And, came up, Netflix, sign up for free. That's already very tempting. 1 month, give the credit card, you can cancel it. Okay, I'm Jewish, I'll do it. Yeah, signed up, so that's already pulled me in. Yeah, then a month later of watching every single episode of Suits. I don't know if anyone's Suits. And I get to the end of Mike's gone. Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm not watching Suits anymore if Mike's gone. If anyone knows Suits, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's actually a good actor. He was in some really good films recently. He's become a bit of a star, and you can see why from there. But I'm not encouraging you to watch Suits, and I'm encouraging you to sign up with Netflix. So they asked me at the end, why don't you want to continue? Because you cancel it, and they said, don't worry, I got another credit card, so I'll just do it free another month. If I didn't do that, I said, I'm Jewish. I don't want to pay. I said, it's too expensive. So I wrote, and I know when you get the joke. I said it the other night, I was laughing. You like the other joke, all right, fine. But it's seriously, these are real things that actually happen. So the point is that, what was the point? What was I enjoying about Suits? So what was the point? I mean, one day I was sitting with my wife. You can even go Ben Shapiro. Anyone know who he is? I'm not saying I'm associated with him. I'm not right wing. I don't make any political assumptions. But I happen to listen to him once in a while. He's an intelligent Jew. Get a bit of insight on political stuff here and there when I need to pay attention to it. And he said himself, what does he do? Sits at the end of all his craziness and sits with his wife and, connects. And one of the ways, how do we do it in this funny generation? We do it through watching something. All right. I'm not saying as a rabbi or anything that's right. No, and Ben Shapiro is definitely not, giving us his haskama. But the point is, what is it? It's the relationship. That's really what the point is. The point is you want to sit with someone and experience something. The point is, even better, you can actually talk to each other, but that would be getting into dangerous territory, yeah? Some relationships. But say in a way, just to end off on this, yeah, that all the things that pull you in to say something like Netflix or Suits or one of these programs, one of these series or movies or whatever it is, the Hollywood world, is watching the relationships. Think about it. Why do you look forward to it? Or why do you seemingly enjoy it? You're watching a relationship going on, and you get drawn into those dynamics. It's very powerful, and Hollywood knows that. So it's best. The music world for sure. I grew up in the music world. The best songs ever, like Beatles or whatever you want to say, Michael Jackson. It's all about the power of love and relationship. That is what's drawing everyone into that music. Yeah. That if you would understand music, how it's on a spiritual level, it's all about relationship. The way music's built is built in a climatic level. Especially Jewish music. Jewish music's holy, and Jewish entertainment. Please God, we'll get more of it now. And this generation is needed. Is holy. Please God. This idea of Yud K Vav K. What is that? A B C B. Yeah. How does music go? Starts off with a verse, chorus, middle A, verse. I'm a musician. That's how it goes. Take every Jewish song. I could sing to you and prove it if you want. But basically, take every Jewish song, think about it. When you hear a song next time, A, B, C, B. Yeah? What's the C? The climax. So you go and start off with the introduction, the A, the verse, you get to the B, the chorus, and then you come to this middle A, this climax, and that's connected to what? Yud, K, Vav, K. It's Hashem's name. So really what people are doing when they're singing in the Jewish way, they're going into the name of Hashem. They're experiencing godliness. That's the way that we do it. We want to connect. Now, if you understand relationships on a deep, deep Kabbalistic level, I'm not going to start teaching Kabbalah, but on the mystical Svarim, talk about relationship is an experience of Yud Kei Vav Kei. You're becoming, in a way, we'll just say it very simply, the man is mashpia, the man is giving, the woman is receiving. This then creates even more giving, which forms, the next level of creation, and then comes out to reality. That's the last. So it's A, B, C, B. It's Yud, K, Vav, K. This is an experience of what relationship is. One more thing, we'll just end on this. When a man takes a ring and puts it on a woman, the ring is a Yud. The thumb of the woman the hand of the woman is a Hey, and the man puts it onto the finger, which is a Vav, and the receiving it again is a Hey. So there's an experience of the Yud, K, Vav, K. The man is a Yud, K, Vav, K. The Yud and the hand, putting the ring, there's a Yud, onto the Vav and the K. It's an experience of godliness. Yeah? Does everyone understand what I'm saying? We all pray, we see the name of God in the Siddur every day. Just understand how much God is creating this reality of relationship, but even in his name, this idea of giving and receiving. And to be a giver is obviously a higher level, but the real giving is also to receive as well. So then that also becomes a high level. And this unification, this joining together. So this is something very deep. Relationship is very real. It's very alive. Rosh Hashanah is a day where we can really just have the space, hopefully, not to just get sidetracked by all the words we have to say, but to actually experience this relationship with God. Tov lahodis Hashem. That's what Adam Rishon said after he sinned. He experienced the relationship between him and Hashem, the nimshul, the point of the relationship, that it should connect you in. And then all this need to connect that's going on around the world with the internet and everything else, you bring it all into a truer connection, the inner connection between you and your Creator. And with that, you should be blessed with a beautiful year, all of you. And we should, please God, just see success. They're helping so many people, relationships over here. And that is really, in my opinion, like I said, as I started, the most important key to happiness in life. So everyone should find that happiness, please God. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.